Hello and a warm welcome to the AI with Arun show. In this episode, we are diving deep into the most radical transformation of American defenses in decades. The Department of War is fundamentally changing what it prioritizes and, crucially, how fast it moves. Our mission, as defined by the Office of the Undersecretary of War for Research and Engineering, is singular: to achieve absolute dominance and to ensure the US war fighters never enter a fair fight. This is not about incremental upgrades, it's about a complete technological and bureaucratic overhaul. So, in this episode, we are going to focus on six resources or six critical technology areas or CTAs, and we're going to pair this with a focus on how the Department of Defense or the Department of War will procure weapons, moving the entire system onto a wartime footing. These monumental shifts are being driven from the top by Secretary of War Pete Hegseth and Undersecretary for Research and Engineering Emil Michael. To understand this transformation, we have to start with the problem Undersecretary Emil Michael inherited. When he stepped into his role, the Pentagon had identified a sprawling list of 14 critical technology areas. Now, while all 14 held value, Michael noted that such broad list simply dilutes focus. His quote is perfect. 14 priorities in truth means no priorities at all. Think of it like a race car trying to win with 14 different sponsors all pulling the steering wheel. You go nowhere fast. So they pruned the list down to just six. These six were chosen because they represent the priorities that will deliver the greatest impact, the fastest results, and the most decisive advantage on the battlefield. This is not about long term research that might pay off in 15 years. Instead, the Research and Engineering Office is now galvanizing the War Department around technology developments and delivery sprints, aiming to produce usable, deliverable technology in a radical timeline of just 12 to 36 months. So let's dive into the big six, starting with the twin pillars of intelligence and resilience. Our first CTA is Applied Artificial Intelligence, or AAI. This is the intelligence battleground. The goal is to transform the entire War Department into an AI first organization, revolutionizing decision making from back office business functions to frontline war fighting. This focus is not cheap. The Pentagon's FY 2026 budget request includes a record $13.4 billion investments in AI and autonomy. This reflects the global reality, which some call the AI arms race. Next, we have biomanufacturing or bio. If AI is about information resilience, biomanufacturing is about physical resilience. We are learning to harness living systems like genetically engineered microorganisms to produce critical capabilities at scale. Why do we need this? To eliminate supply chain vulnerabilities. So, for example, instead of relying on traditional petrochemical processes, often outsourced overseas, we can brew essential materials like specialized lubricants or anti corrosion coatings in massive watts. This gives us incredible domestic control and resilience. Now we move on to the technology areas focused on surviving and operating in the most challenging environments. First up is contested logistics technologies or LOG. This is not one specific gadget. It's a broad critical mission. The core challenge is simple. How do we ensure seamless resupply and operational continuity when the adversary, such as China, in the Pacific is actively disrupting or denying our ability to move people and material? Now, this mission demands innovation in everything from autonomous delivery to new storage techniques. Next is quantum and battlefield information dominance or QBID. The reality is that traditional communications like GPS and standard radio systems are highly vulnerable to jamming by a high tech adversary. QBID or quantum and battlefield information dominance, QBID, is the solution, consolidating previous efforts in areas like future G and integrated sensing. Its mission is to deliver advanced capabilities like precision navigation and timing, which is PNT, and electromagnetic spectrum maneuverability, ensuring the US forces can still communicate and navigate even in degraded or denied environments. This area is incredibly well funded. Within the FY 2026 R&D budget, request linking quantum technologies to 61 different program lines. Our final two critical technology areas focus on pure firepower, but with a critical difference. The word scaled. It is no longer enough to have a prototype. We need mass production. First, scaled hypersonics or SHY. Now, hypersonic weapons fly at Mach 5 or faster, making them faster than cruise missiles and more agile than ballistic missiles. China and Russia have been investing heavily in these systems, so the US focus is now on scaling, moving these small scale prototypes into mass production. We need to field these weapons en masse to strike targets with unmatched speed and survivability. The second one is scaled directed energy or SCADE. This means moving high energy lasers and microwave beam weapons from promising small scale demonstrations into mass productions. The vision here is incredible, delivering high energy solutions that neutralize threats with precision. Defense officials hope that these weapons can take effectively unlimited shots against threats like incoming missile barrages or drone swarms that could overwhelm traditional air defenses. If the technology shift is the what, the acquisition revolution is the how. You can have the best technology in the world, but if it takes 15 years to get to the soldier, you lose. Secretary of War Pete Hegseth recognized this failure and mandated a massive overhaul, transforming the traditional Defense Acquisition System or DAS into a Warfighting Acquisition System or WAS. Hegseth made it clear that rebuilding the military demands putting the entire acquisition system on a wartime footing and dramatically accelerating the fielding of new technology. To achieve this, layers of bureaucracy are being eliminated. Long standing executive officers overseeing procurement will be replaced by powerful portfolio acquisition executives. These executives will be empowered to make critical decisions and will be directly accountable for performance. More dramatically, the priorities themselves have been reordered. We used to prioritize cost, schedule, performance. The new priority starts with schedule or speed and only then considers cost. Speed is now the organizing principle. Why did the old system fail in the first place? Secretary Hegseth pointed to three major systemic challenges. But before detailing them, let's internalize his core mandate. Speed to delivery is now our organizing principle, he said, calling it the decisive factor in maintaining deterrence and warfighting advantage. The first systemic challenge was fragmented accountability. Now, there was no single leader with the authority to ensure urgent results. The second was broken incentives. The system rewarded meeting every single requirement and specification perfectly, which came to a significant cost and to on time delivery. Now, imagine a perfect product delivered 2 years too late. That is a failure on a wartime footing. Finally, the old government procurement behaviors disincentivized industry. They encouraged, or they actually discouraged, companies from investing their own capital and expanding production, leading to constrained capacity. To fix this, the Undersecretary for Acquisition and Sustainment will chair monthly acquisition acceleration reviews. These reviews are designed specifically to track timelines, remove unnecessary barriers, and focus relentlessly on delivering combat capability and revitalizing the industrial base. This new urgency is driven by a stark reality. We are in what is being called a new Red Cold War, where the primary battleground is not traditional hardware, but AI. It's an AI arms race. To fund this radical transformation, the money has to come from somewhere. Secretary Hegseth ordered a review of the department's fiscal year 2026 budget to shift a massive amount of funding, approximately $50 billion or 8% of the planned budget. This money is being realigned from what officials call low impact and low priority legacy programs, specifically targeted for cuts that are unnecessary spending, like so called climate change or other work programs, as well as excessive bureaucracy. However, some key areas are protected from this 8% cut, including nuclear modernization, our homeland missile defense, collaborative combat aircraft, the CCAs, and munitions. This budget review is a massive signal. The entire department is financially pivoting to allow with the new America First priorities like border security and the Iron Dome for America. This entire strategy has caused a heavy earthquake in the defense industry as Silicon Valley finally conquers the Pentagon. We are seeing a dramatic reshuffling of power. Take Palantir Technologies, an AI-focused firm named after a magical artifact from Lord of the Rings. Its stock soared approximately 61% this year after an incredible 340% return in 2024. At one point, Palantir's market value was lower than the combined market value of traditional defense giants like Lockheed Martin Northrop Grumman, and General Dynamics. Why? Because initiatives like the Elon Musk led Department of Government Efficiency DOGE were pushing to prioritize next generation tech like software, drones, and robots over traditional hardware. The Pentagon is adopting a commercial first approach. To attract these new tech players, the department is offering longer duration, multi year contracts. The goal is to incentivize companies to invest their own dollars into development rather than relying solely on government funding. They want to give new privately funded startups every opportunity to compete, using that competition to increase the Pentagon's ultimate buying power and accelerate delivery. The message to industry is clear: invest now, and we will reward your speed and innovation. To wrap up our journey, let's summarize this massive historic shift. The Department of War is driving change on two parallel tracks: focus and speed. First, the focus. We are concentrating investments and efforts into six critical technology areas to ensure warfighters achieve dominance and never enter a fair fight. Second is speed. The acquisition revolution means that the speed to deliver is now the organizing principle. The entire system is structured around those 12 to 36-month technology development sprints. As Undersecretary Michael put it, these are actionable, tangible solutions designed to deliver results in the now, not in 15 years. The US is investing what many believe is the biggest transformation in defense technology since the advent of nuclear weapons. The road ahead requires patience, as these fundamental systemic changes don't happen overnight. But the direction is very clear. The US military is embracing AI, accelerating delivery, and focusing relentlessly on achieving technological superiority. Now, I'll give you one more bonus point. Now, if you think of the old defense acquisition system as a massive bureaucratic cruise ship, it was safe, highly regulated, satisfying every requirement, and eventually got the job done. But it took years to turn and even longer to accelerate. The new war-fighting acquisition system was is like transforming that ship into a fleet of guided missiles and high-speed patrol boats, prioritizing the quickest, most direct path to the target. Speed and accountability now override the show. Traditional checks, which are very slow, ensuring new technology reaches the frontline warfighter rapidly, just as those 12 to 36 month sprints demand. With that, we come to the end of the show. Please support our work by joining us as a member and click on the bell icon at the bottom of this video to be notified of new videos. And thank you so much for watching. If you learned anything from this video, please like, share, and subscribe to the AI with Arun show. Thank you for watching.